During this video, I just want to go through a new procedure we've got in place in regards to logging complaints and feedback. So complaints and feedback just don't come from students, they also come from you as trainers and assessors if you've got an issue with something. So basically now on your PD setup, you've got an extra tab, which is feedback and complaints over the side here. So when you click on that, it will bring up a bit of an explanation on how to use our new program Freshdesk, but we'll provide a link to Freshdesk here. So if I click on this link, you'll be taken to a page which is VFA Learning's Freshdesk page, which is where you can log issues and complaints and feedback. So you can enter this via the learning management system, your PD program as just explained, or if you want to just keep this as a favorite, this address, you can just go straight into it by putting in vfalearning.freshdesk.com. So what you basically need to do is click on a new support ticket if you've got an issue. So in here, you just need to populate all these fields. Now this is explained in the video in your PD. It's pretty self-explanatory. You put in your name, your email address if it's not automatically populated, then the issue type. So if we look at the different issue types, we've got complaint, feedback, and assessment appeal. So this is how we're going to use them. So a complaint is going to come from the student when they want to lodge a formal complaint. So this makes it easier for them to lodge a formal complaint. So whether they get on here and lodge it themselves through their learning management system, or they sit down with you as a trainer and assessor, if it's something not related to you as a trainer and assessor, and you assist them to lodge a complaint, we're now trying to make it easy to collect this information off the students. Because for us, recording complaints and understanding it and doing something about it is really important. So that's for students to log complaints, but also for you as a trainer and assessor, you might want to lodge a complaint as well. So you might have an issue with another trainer or a manager, something about VFA learning, or it might be something like you're sick of coming to work and the cleaner not doing their job properly and the massage environment, for example, is too dirty. So that's where you can lodge that complaint. So this is for more formal complaints. Feedback is just feedback that isn't a complaint. So we'll probably, at this stage, it's more for, it might be for positive things that either you or the students want to say about something, but also can be things that you think need improving that aren't worthy of being put in a complaint. So if you think something's needed for the weight room and the air conditioner is making too much noise in there and it needs fixing, that's where you'd put it in there. But also if you overhear a student complaining about something in class, so just say they complain about, listen, the temperature in the room's not right, and you speak to them and they say, listen, I'm not happy with the temperature in the room, it's just hard to concentrate, and you say, listen, do you want to lodge a complaint? They say, no, it's not that big a deal, it's only a couple of nights a year where it's too hot. So they've made a complaint, but they don't want it to be a formal complaint, it's more an informal complaint. Also, you can use this here, and again, it's not encouraging them to populate, you would just put your name in here, email address, and talk about the issue. In class last night, there was a couple of students complaining about the heat of the room when it gets really hot. So then we're knowing about these issues. So even if they don't want to log a formal complaint, we can put it in here under feedback. So you could be putting it there on the student's behalf when you've heard issues coming up in class. And that's a really important one because you guys are on the ground and you're hearing things in classes. The students aren't at this stage wanting to put it in as a complaint, but you're actually coming here and putting this feedback in, which in a way is an informal complaint. And we're finding out about it and we're logging it, and we can then decide whether to do something about it. So feedback might just come from you as a trainer or assessor, or might be coming from you via the student, or the student might be just getting in here and giving some feedback on something that they don't want to make a complaint about, and they might even have some positive feedback they want to put in there. An assessment appeal is not for the trainer and assessor, it's more for a student who has got issues with an assessment decision. So they've got the ability to put that in there. The respondent type, student, staff member, or other. Have you discussed the issue complaint with your homeroom teacher? Obviously yes or no, but if you're a staff member, you're going to be saying probably either no because it's obvious, or NA if it just relates to feedback. Have you read the VFA Learning's complaints, grievances and appeals policy? Okay, so if you want to make a complaint, you need to make sure, as a staff member, you need to make sure that you're referring to this before you make the complaint, to make sure you've gone through those proper steps first. So you either say yes, no, or if it's just something related to feedback, you can use this as a tool to, as I've said before, log your feedback. And it's not really a complaint, so it doesn't apply as much to here. So you can, NA, it's just about some feedback. I just want to let you guys know that this could probably be done better. Again, we've got a subject issue subject. So again, just a headline or a heading of what's the issue is. Description of issue. This is where you're going to talk about the complaint, provide all the information. You can also attach a file. So with that example, if you've got a complaint about the job the cleaners are doing, you might want to attach a photo of what you found, for example. Or if you've received an email from someone within the academy you don't think is appropriate and you want to attach the evidence, that's where you attach it there. And then the bottom box is what outcome you're hoping for. So obviously this is based on the issue you've discussed up in this box here. So again, these are the fields you populate. But as you can understand from a management point of view, rather than issues coming up and escalating before we know it, it's really important that you use this. So in meetings going forward, if issues or problems come up and you say, listen, there's a problem with this, these students aren't happy with this, your manager is going to be coming back to you saying, have you logged it through Freshdesk? So this is basically how we're expecting you to do it. But from here, we'll get managers to discuss this further in staff meetings. Like everything, this is probably a process that will improve as we go through it. We might add drop downs or remove drop downs, so it'll take a bit of refining, but this is the way we want to do it now. So when we get to audit time, we've got a clear collection point of complaints information that then we can apply to our complaints log or complaints register.